The Vancouver Whitecaps have made history, winning the Canadian Championship 4-2 over Vancouver FC to complete the four-peat, to complete the quadruple, and to do it for the first time in the club's history. This is monumental. This is historical and a milestone moment for the Vancouver Whitecaps. And it doesn't stop there, as this marks off a key win for this side, along the way for Thomas Muller. Thomas Muller is one of the most decorated players in the history of this sport, in the history of German football, and now sits at the top, the very top of German football as the most trophies of any German footballer, eclipsing Toni Kroos, now having 35 trophies won, and that is a milestone. That is something that will go down in Vancouver Whitecap history. Yes, winning the Canadian Championship is massive, completing the four-peat, doing it in the fashion they did over a local and derby rival. But also along the way, having a player like Thomas Muller bought into the project, going out and winning his 35th title to eclipse Toni Kroos, to be the most winning German player of all time. These are all landmark moments. These are all milestone moments that are steps in the right direction, that are confidence, positive boosting moments for this Vancouver Whitecap side who are in the right direction to go out and win Major League Soccer, to win the MLS title. And this is truly a boost in the right direction and something that should fill supporters, fill these players with even more confidence. And yes, they were expected to win this match against a local rival, a derby match against Vancouver FC. But they did it extremely convincingly. And what was even more exciting was the way their stars stepped up to the plate. Ali Ahmed, 2 goals, a man of the match performance, a 9.4 match rating on FootMob, was absolutely terrific. Took his first goal with composure, with precision, and a fantastic finish for the Vancouver Whitecaps to put them on the board. And when Vancouver FC came back and scored to make it 2-1, who was there on the spot? Johnny on the spot, something he gets from a national team teammate and learns from. Ali Ahmed on the spot to score and to pounce at the opportunity to make it 3-1 and really seal this game for Vancouver Whitecaps, who were always in the driver's seat. But the positivity didn't stop after Ali Ahmed, Thomas Muller getting on the score sheet in a historical match for the German international and former German international. Later in the game, saw Vancouver Whitecaps bring on their captain, their ever so present, a historical player, a legend of the club in Ryan Gauld. And what does he do? He comes onto the pitch, pressures that Vancouver FC side. Jaden Nelson sets him up, and Ryan Gauld is back on the score sheet. And who scored, who set up, and who assisted these goals for Vancouver Whitecaps? Well, it was Thomas Muller, Ali Ahmed, as well as Jaden Nelson and a club legend in Ryan Gauld. That is what you need from your best players, to step up and play to the occasion, to win the big trophies. And yes, I understand they were expected to beat a Vancouver FC side that has been extremely poor in league play in the Canadian Premier League. But this was still a Vancouver FC side that were going to step up to the plate, give their all in a local derby, in a game that these players might never get the chance to play in again. A Canadian Championship is something very special. And the fact that Vancouver FC stood up and still scored 2 goals against this very good Vancouver Whitecaps backline and team in general is still very impressive. But all of the landmarks, all of the moments throughout this game are extremely positive for the Vancouver Whitecaps. You have doing the four-peat, winning the quadruple. That is something special, something that has never happened in Vancouver Whitecaps franchise, in their history, in the club's history, which is a huge moment. Getting silverware is something that will only boost this club going into the MLS playoffs. along the way, having Ali Ahmed scoring goals and boosting his confidence, something that he continues to need to do, as well as Thomas Muller scoring from the penalty spot in a game that is historical, that is monumental in his career. Yes, something as small as a Canadian championship to Thomas Muller might look like a measly trophy, but one that notches him as the greatest trophy cabinet in German football history. This is a player who now has 35 trophies, one more than the great Toni Kroos, up there with Manuel Neuer, Franz Beckenbauer, Philipp Lahm. He is at the top of that list. Lothar Matthäus. There is some incredible names within German football history, and Thomas Muller now sits at the top of it. Let me read you out some of the trophies this man has won. 13 Bundesligas, 6 DFB Pokals, 8 DFL German Super Cups, UEFA Champions League winner 2 times, UEFA Super Cup twice, FIFA Club World Cup twice, and a World Cup winner in 2014. This is a man who is now at the top of the German charts, and it's truly incredible that he showed he bought into the project of this Vancouver Whitecaps side, and left it all out in the pitch against Vancouver FC, and one legend in Thomas Muller left the pitch, and another walked onto it in Ryan Gauld. All these moments, all these things add up and are very exciting for Vancouver Whitecaps. Yes, it was against a minnow of the CPL, but it is still a derby. It is still a trophy. It is still a quadruple and a four-peat, but it is also a historical, monumental, and milestone win, in my opinion, and something that can really go on and power this side into winning the MLS. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments about Vancouver Whitecaps beating Vancouver FC 4-2 in the Canadian Championship final in the TELUS Can Champ. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Make sure to smash that like button, guys. It really helps out the content. Hit that sub button and let me know your thoughts on the match reaction and if you guys think this was truly a landmark win for the Vancouver Whitecaps. I'll see you guys for the next one. Peace.